Hi there, I'm Puneet Sikka. Welcome to Arteree. I'm delighted to have Mohit Mukhi with us, who is playing Those Lights for us.
Those lights keep rambling through my mind. The shadows of that evening make their way into this night. That summer day, those streets were calm but our words were slow. Before that evening slipped us by, we slipped past with our hands alone. So I run back to those trees that your windows see, to see where it all began. And one of these days our shadows might embrace, to find what we buried in the sand. That bench by that sea looks around that hill, searching for you and me. And now and then I end up by that sea, chasing those late evenings when these waves they washed our feet. So I run back to those trees that your windows see, to see where it all began. And one of these days our shadows might embrace, to find what we buried in the sand. But now these waves have moved back into the sea, and the sand is dried up under my feet. I see these tides, they dance and call out to me, but my boat can find its way beyond this sea, beyond this sea. So I run back to those trees that your windows see, to see where it all began. And one of these days our shadows might embrace, to find what we buried in the sand, in the sand, in the sand.
Thank you, Mohit, for Those Lights.
My pleasure. Yeah.
Tell me, when you set to write this, what was running in your head? What was it that sort of inspired you to put this track together, the song?
I think this is probably one of the first songs I wrote that I actually retained. So this song has actually been through a lot of chops and changes, although the place and the emotion and the feeling that's behind the song, or the events rather, let's just put it that way, those haven't changed. It's just the words have kind of been worked upon, the structures have kind of changed a little bit. I think it's about a guy who's actually reminiscing, or a part of him, or another greater part of him has actually moved on from someone, but a part of him still hasn't. So I think the song is about that as such, predominantly, to put it very simply. Yeah.
So usually, is your writing autobiographical in some way?
It always is.
It always is.
Because I don't know. I cannot write about, what's happening in Africa. I don't know what's happening in Africa. I don't know about when people go out and say, write songs about like world peace and this and that. I don't know anything about that. I mean, as a person, I mean, I've read about it. I know what it's all about, but I've never experienced those things personally, right? So I can, if I was to basically write about um, a city, for example, like Bombay City, I have written songs about Bombay City, but they are from my experience. I mean, I can't really take uh, one part of the city and kind of zoom in into that. Like, for example, write a song about traffic in the city. I can't do that. I think my way of writing when I'm trying to write about something is it's like a long shot. It's like you standing on top of a terrace and you're looking at the entire city.
A wide-eyed lens or
A
something.
wide-eyed lens. I think so. Somewhere that is a little impersonal, but that kind of gets a little personal as well when you're kind of speaking to people. But that's not really the intention. I think the intention really is that you kind of put yourself in the midst of all of that, right? So I think that's how I personally.
When you
like to
when you
write,
talk
yeah.
when you write about from an event from your life or
Right.
from a personal experience or a feeling, and then you put it out in the form of something creative, so you're effectively putting yourself out there, right? And then you perform for
Yeah.
an audience.
Yeah.
So is there ever a sense of a fear of judgment, of external opinion, of do you feel that you have to sometimes muster up courage to face people, and because you know that there is something of your life which is perhaps personal and you're sharing it with people, maybe they don't know it, you know it, but
See, but that's the beauty about writing songs or just putting work out. It where it's coming from. Other people don't, and I think that's the case with every song. At the end of the day, you don't want to serve people. How do I put it? Cheeseburgers. You just want to tell them how the cheeseburger's made, and they can make it their own way. You know what I'm trying to say? You don't want to kind of serve everything to everyone on a platter. You let them take what they have to take from it. But coming to your point of being judged, yes and no. I mean, there always is initially a certain fear of validation. Now, whatever that may be, positive or negative. But after a certain point, when you put a song out, it doesn't belong to you. Once it's published, once it's out there, once it's recorded, once it's out there, it's no longer your song as such. Like you probably wrote it.
probably other people are resonating with it,
exactly.
perhaps.
And just the whole idea of trying to think that this is very personal, and when some people connect with that, you just realize that, hey, you know what, other people have kind of been through the same thing, and just that whole feeling of I'm the only one who's kind of been through that, it's absolute rubbish.
No, of course not.
Yeah,
Of course
yeah.
not.
So it's
course not.
I think we all kind of feel the same emotions at the end of the day. So yeah, I guess it's not a problem. I in fact don't feel scared about that side of things. Never.
Right.
Yeah, that is in fact the side of things that I'm most comfortable with. In fact, because somewhere I think a lot of songwriters, I feel, will tell you that they otherwise probably wouldn't be able to say what they had to say, like to that person, but they've said all of that in that song, you know. So somewhere, yeah, that is what kind of scares me, is that when I have to kind of say all this to a person without writing a song. Yeah,
Either way, it's a release.
it's a release.
So,
yeah.
yeah.
It is some sort of an emotional release. Yeah.
Great. So thank you so much
Thank you.
for those lights, and I look forward to hearing more stuff from you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank
my
you.
pleasure.
Good luck to
Thanks
you.
for having me. Yeah.